All right, Facebook, guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Happy Friday, people! What the hell am I yelling about? There's nobody home. Yeah, it's always at work, man. Guys, happy Friday to you. It's National Be Heard Day today, not be heard in the other way. But that said, I had to come on. I mean, the birthday love you guys showed me yesterday and today, I mean, was out of bounds, man. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for that. 59. Wow. God, I think to myself, and this is just a reflection time, I think to myself, if I stayed the same back 15, 17 years ago, what would I look like now? How would I be now? And I spent a lot of the day yesterday in between doing my work with Kurt and his show and doing the Facebook Live in the morning, reflecting on that. And what we've been taught as little tights back then and in school was to use your imagination. Imagination is everything. It's the preamble to life's coming attractions. Yes, that's Einstein's theory back then, but it's actual a fact now. Because I want to share the quote box with you guys and break down and kind of dissect this illusion, hence disillusion, that we have to live by and what the internet tells us every single day. You guys can pick your poison, but it's only when I chose to live in the illusion of what I wanted to create that things turned out that way. I didn't follow the delusion aspect of it, because when you really think about it, if you search illusion and delusion on the internet, the only you can come up with that you come up with beyond the relevant facts of it, a lot of it's mental health issues. Why is it not good mental health to have this illusion of a better life? And I didn't believe that. I wouldn't believe that for a friggin' second. I said, wait, this is what I believe in. This is what I want to become. And that illusion of life created the most amazing things for me. And hopefully, with information like this will help you guys as well. But again, much love to all of you for the birthday love yesterday. And still today, I got one like 10 minutes ago. It out of bounds. I thank you much for that. But out of the quote box tonight, I'm going to share with you guys, because I've been holding on to this for a couple, 3 days. Nothing can come into your life without your attention to it. That being said, I don't know who wrote that. I got to get the author on that. I'm not sure if it was Abraham Hicks, but I did do a search on that. I couldn't find the author, but think about it. Nothing can come into your life without your attention to it, hence your illusion. Remember that? I don't know if you guys remember the cartoons, the illusion of the guys in the desert. And they would see an oasis far from in the distance, but it merely was just their perception. That's a perfect example of illusion. Illusion in scientific terms. I want to read this to you, and then I'll read to you what Einstein wrote to a friend, because people think that reality is just an illusion. I mean, there was a quote that mistakenly was said by Einstein, but it wasn't. It was said by a Frenchman. But I'll get to that. But in scientific terms, illusion, the brain receives sensory information. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. It can make assumptions or fill gaps based on past experiences that misinterprets what is actually seen. What does that say? Oh, let the imagination run wild in your life. Let what you want to come to you. Let go of the aspect that you can't have anything. This is what they're saying. The brain receives sensory information. In other words, what you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and then makes assumptions and to fill gaps based on past experiences. Hence, you're triggering your past just by your illusion of the present because of what your brain figures out and wants to come. Because your brain is always trying to figure out your reality, hence, or create from that. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to live in this reality now of being broke and all. You can create the most amazing illusion of what you want to create. Hence, like I said in the very beginning, nothing can come to your life without your attention to it. But really think about what they said. They just gave us the secret to creation. It's our belief in it. It's our belief in what we actually see, not what's around us, because what's around us is our perception of it. You change your perception through your five senses, what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch about life, and you anchor the most amazing feelings and vision of what you want to create. That's your attention. That's your reality. That's your illusion created by you, not life. You don't have to worry about being some freak who likes to have this imaginary feeling. No, it's you creating the reality that you want to create. This is just to supplement your thought process on it, because we were told that you can't do that. You can't have that. You can't be that in life. And I would use an expletive with two words right now. It wouldn't be Merry Christmas, because I am the direct opposite of what they were preaching to me. I have become exactly what I wanted to become in my thought process, in my health, in my relation with life, in everything that I've always wanted to have, be, and do, and still doing that, because I didn't believe what the outside world was telling me. And what I'm telling you is that it's okay. It's okay to have this childhood mind that you want to create the best love of your life, or you want to create this amazing future. It's amazing that the letters I receive from AARP, it just never ending. Who said you got to get old, man? Who said you have to buckle down and retire? And retire is to step back. When you stop living your life, you literally start dying. You literally get eaten alive by life. It'll chew you up and spit that shit right out. But I want to get right to what Einstein said. It was a personal letter to one of his friends. And to me, and I'll define illusion and delusion for you guys to help you understand that we are just creations of our thought process. And it's great, because when you change your thought process, you change your life patterns, you feel the energy from those life patterns, you're going to start creating realities from those life patterns. So you are in complete and utter control of your life. Don't think life controls you. You are the creator of it. You are the artist every day who gets up and chooses how to live. This is the beauty of it. You choose your day in advance by how you feel the minute you come to your senses. See, hear, smell, taste, and touch every single day. And how you perceive that is how you achieve it. So what Einstein said to one of his friends was, it's beautiful. He goes, for those of us who believe in physics, I'll say it again, for those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. In other words, what you constantly think about. And this should hopefully alleviate a lot of fear from your life, that you're going to get this and you're going to get sick and you're going to get, who cares? It doesn't matter. But the whole point of tonight's show is to let you know that you have complete control of it. Every day is a blank canvas, man. Every day is a new opportunity. Every day you can say to yourself, it's going to be a friggin' amazing day, and live by that. And guess what? You're going to start creating more amazing friggin' days ahead of that. And he goes on to say, now I'm going to break down illusion. I'm going to read it one more time, then I'll break down illusion for you guys, because it's really powerful. It should help you guys realize that when you start constructing and designing the life that you want, and you start living by that through your five senses, like I mentioned several times, I'm not going to do it again. When you start living by your five senses, you're going to start creating the reality from that, what you designed. It should help you guys understand that life is not hard. It's how we see it that makes it hard. You can let down the walls of your past because you don't live there anymore, meatball. To see the kingdom, you have to step out of the castle that you've built around yourself. And it's only when you do that life is going to start showing you the way, the path, and the way will be made. This is why you don't have to necessarily see a way. You just got to be the way, and the path is going to be made for you. For those of us who believe in physics, The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. It's a choice, a stubbornly persistent one at that. And that's great because you become, I'm a stubborn shit. You become stubborn on the reality you want to create and not let all the other meatballs out there trying to dictate how to live. You're going to create the most amazing life. Illusion is a pattern capable of a reversible perspective. In other words, you can change it. You can pick any illusion of life you want to create. Every day that you take your head off the pillow, you can create a new illusion of life, live by it, give the energy to it, because like I mentioned last night in Kurt's show, and I'll say it to you guys one more time, if you live by this, this is the creation point in your life. That there's a lot of aspects of creation, but if you live by the same thoughts that you wake up every day with, you and in essence create the same choices. From those choices is your behaviors. From your behaviors, you create your experiences. From your experiences, create your feelings and emotion. So why not? Why not create the most amazing life in your head? You start feeling it with your 5 senses, and you start believing it. But you go on the friggin' internet, and you Google all this shit, and you break down what they're trying to say. I mean, Scripture doesn't like illusion. It's telling you it's a farce. I mean, if I tried to find the most inspirational segment to use from Scripture to add to this tonight, I couldn't find it. Maybe I was thinking something. Maybe I had this illusion that Scripture would actually say, have this imagination and God will bless you. No, because we are God, man. We are endowed with the same powers. We just got to learn how to use them. But in the Bible, they said, no, don't conform to that. And it was a whole shit show. I couldn't believe it. But here I am to tell you, defining what physics is, in other words, science and religion are basically the same thing. When you start understanding that, you realize it's all the same process. It's a matter of you understanding the creation process to create your desires and to live by that. Reality's late, man. It's got to catch up to your thought process. Thank God. Imagine, like they said in The Secret, if we thought of a pink elephant, there'd be one sitting in front of us. That's great. It gives us time and a perspective to really understand what we're trying to create. Illusion, like I said, a pattern capable of a reversible perspective. In other words, you can change your opinion. Now you go on the internet for delusion. A person believes things that couldn't possibly be true. In Latin, that's called deceiving. In other words, what they're saying, if you're delusional, that what you're thinking about can never happen. And that's all over the place. They're telling you can never live to 100. Why not? Who the hell said that? I mean, this is my theory on life. I don't believe what people tell me. I really don't. If I feel it, yeah, I'll believe it in some way, but I've come to that conclusion in life. But if I'm going to live in this delusional state, what I've created from that, I'll take it. I will totally and utterly take the peace, the harmony, the good vibrations, the good health, the loving sense of peace of mind over any of that shit they're trying to tell us on the internet any day. I'll live in my delusions, thank you very much. I will enjoy them every day because it's how it makes me feel better. Therefore, I'm a creation machine of more things to come to me that make me feel better. I mean, here's a crazy scenario. Imagine, I do this every day, and I create the most amazing shit. Imagine waking up thinking that you won the lottery. I mean, this is a delusional to the third power we're talking about. Imagine that feeling every day of having a check in your hand that you just friggin' want to change your life, man, with the biggest amount of money you've ever won. Imagine living by that. You may not win the lottery per se, but think about the feelings behind that. That's the imaginary quantum way of living. You're literally creating the same feelings out of friggin' thin air just by the so-called delusion of winning this amazing sum of money and all the benefits from that. Having that kind of mindset is like having a toy chest that hasn't been opened yet. You live by that mindset, that childhood-like mindset that we should be living by, mind you, because it's a creation machine in our life. I love that space just came up on my computer screen. You live by that. You can only create the most amazing things. You may not win that lottery, like I said, but you are going to manifest synchronicities to match that. You're going to manifest opportunities to create more money. You're going to create all these scenarios just by this so-called delusion that you've created in your mind. Pick your poison. I'll pick the optimistic, delusional fact of life, and therefore create my lighting so it's working better in here, man. I just invested all this money in lighting. It's not working. Make it work, meatball. Let's go. But really ponder it for yourself. Really. I mean, for me, creating that illusion of prosperity, love, peace, joy in this life has only created more of that for me. It's not a delusional kind of mindset. I'm just creating the optical illusion through my five senses, living by that every day, and therefore watching the synchronicities and serendipities in my life conform to that. So really think about it for yourself, guys. The quote one more time: nothing can come into your life without your attention to it. What attention are you giving life every day? I mean, yeah, we have our ups and downs. I mean, there's these shit that happens here and there, but what kind of attention are you giving life? Because George Lucas said it best, and I'll let you guys go. The secret to film is that it's an illusion. If you think your life is a movie, create the most amazing screenplay. Create the most amazing scenes in that and live by that. Watch how life responds, guys. So think about it for yourself. Happy Friday. Again, much love for the birthday wishes, guys. America's Mentor _ on Instagram, at America's Mentor on X, guys. Please follow me on Facebook at Jerry Maldonado 2 for unique information to help you to your destination, and YouTube. I'm hitting almost 700 videos on YouTube. That's hashtag America's Mentor. Please follow me there, guys. Enjoy your Friday, guys. I will talk to you guys very, very soon, man.